So I just want to share this picture. Maybe some of you knows about it, especially people from UK. Maybe you've heard of it. This is the Derby Silk Mill, and it's basically the first fully automated silk throwing factory, and it's considered as the birthplace of the industrial revolution in Europe. And the nice thing is that, so yeah, we were talking about factory and like it's automating thing and how this is linked to Dagger. Well, basically, I think, and this is a personal opinion, that Dagger is kind of like a CI factory. Basically, you have like multiple modules that you will assemble together that will build, ship, lint, test, basically like execute a bunch of tasks. And all of this assembled is basically the factory for your software. Um, and so one of the things is that when the creator of the Silk Mill, his name is Thomas Kotschetz, he first failed to build his thing in 1704, and like it took almost 12 years to have something that actually works and is very productive and basically starts the revolutions. And it's kind of the same when you adopt Dagger. You need to learn a lot of concepts. You need to learn what's a module. You need to get on board on the API. You need to understand the concept of SDKs. And when you start to Daggerize your project, to Daggerize your CI, it will take some time and some experience indeed to build some clean and scalable Dagger modules. So like you will have to get experience, do a POC, show it to your teammates, and then iterate from there. And so it's quite a lot of work. And so what I've been working on is what I called a magic SDK. And basically what it does, it's like a no-code module that automatically exposes callable functions. So when you want to Daggerize a project, you actually don't need to write any code at the beginning. You can directly get instant reward by just executing functions that are exposed by this smart SDK or magic SDK. And so, yeah, the cool thing is that it adapts the functions and the parameters depending on your project. So the flow of using Dagger when you get on board and try it for the first time would just be you install the CLI and boom, you can run Dagger functions. You don't need to Dagger init, you don't need to write code, you can directly use something, which I think is very interesting, especially when you are on an early stage of adopting Dagger and you don't have much code or much time to spend on writing modules. And so why this demo is named Docker SDK? Because from now, I just talked about Magic SDK, blah, 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 but this demo is named Docker SDK because it's simply the working proof of concept of this idea, and it works for Docker project. So if you have a Docker file, it will automatically expose a build function. And if you have a Docker Compose, it will automatically expose functions to manage your services. And I think it's time for a demo. So here I have 4 simple directory. Each of them contains Dockerfile, Docker Compose, whatever. So I'm gonna start with a very simple one, very, very simple, probably something that any engineers has done so far when you start to use Go, like a Go project. And so I'm gonna go in this one. I have a Dagger JSON here with my SDK already in it. Initialize. It's for the sake of the demo because I need to be fast, so I don't want to spend too much time loading things. And I'm just gonna run Dagger shell. I have nothing else. I have a Go, like simple Go project, but nothing much. There is no code, nothing. But if I do Dagger shell, we may see some interesting things if it's fast enough. Yeah. So if I do .doc, we can see that I have a Docker function available. So I'm gonna check what's in there. Oh, I have a build function. And so if I do .build, well, I can configure a Docker file and I can configure a platform. So just let's try to build the container and spawn a terminal in it. And boom, like I didn't write anything and my Docker file has been executed and served, and I'm able to execute it. So this is for a very simple use case, but let's try with something. Oh, yeah, I need to leave my session.
You might not be able to hear it, Tom. There was a bunch. There's like tons of applause happening, and like people are cheering and shouting. They're like, "Oh wow, that's amazing!"
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not
So you should pause and bask in it for a second. Just let it wash over you. Okay, before you do the next part.
Can I see the comment or something?
No, just take it from me. I'm listening.
Oh,
Keep going.
so thank you so much. But it's not finished. So
Okay, there's more.
Yeah. Here we have a more complex Docker file with some argument. And this is where the Docker SDK actually become interesting, because I think that, like, okay, it's cool, it works without code, but right now I didn't show anything like, in my opinion, very amazing. But let's reuse the Dagger shell in this project, and let's look at the doc of build. And now we see that we have some new arguments created based on the Docker file that has been like understood by the module. So we see that we have a binary, we have a base image. We can see that it appears here. We can override it if we want. We have some argument like bin name. We have a secret, and so let's try to run it. So I can do docker build, then I can do let's call it demo, and I need to set a secret. So I'm gonna use foo, and let's name it bar, and I should be able to do terminal. I forget an apostrophe here. Okay, cool. And so here we see that my binary name is demo, so it has been applied to the Docker file and forwarded to it. And I guess I can run it. I got my secret here. Indeed, because it's a secret, I cannot show it, but I assure you that it actually got like set as I specified in the CLI. I can also specify the target, like if I want to get the container of my app stage, I can do target app, and we should see a different result. Here you see, we see the code. The bin name is not applied yet because it's only in the runtime stage. But basically, yeah, I can control which stage I have set. And all of this is guessed automatically. Again, I have not write any lines of code. And so I'm just gonna show, because I see the clock and I don't have much time, so I'm just gonna show the last Docker file, the last Docker Compose demo. So here I have a Docker Compose and a Docker file. It has two services, web and Redis. And so I'm gonna run Dagger shell again, same setup, no extra code except the one from my code base. Okay, and now I'm gonna do docker pipe doc, and we see that I have a build function and a compose one. The compose one is to manage all my services. I can either run them independently, or I can just run all my services at the same time. For the sake of the demo, I'm just gonna run the web just to show that if a services depend on another one, it's gonna spin up both, which I think is pretty cool. So let's do docker compose web up. And it started the Redis services. Now let's start web. Okay, we got it. And now we can see the service. And I can also,
Awesome.
thank you. I can also, so I'm gonna, oh, yeah, it's already in use. I need to reload my shell. So this is not from the Docker SDK, it's a shell issue with the services. Sometimes it does not successfully close it. But that's cool because I already got the history of my command. And so here I have both my services run at the same time. I'm gonna go back again, and I'm gonna access my Redis just to show that it's synchronized, which I think it's pretty cool. Keys, get, it, and we got 5. So yeah, so basically the idea is to, like, if right now you have a Dockerfile, like a project that have a Dockerfile, and you want to Daggerize your project because you think Dagger is cool, but you don't want to spend too much time on learning modules and stuff because you just want to try it, now you can. Yeah, the Docker SDK is published on GitHub. It's not integrated to the Dagger CLI for now. It's just a POC, but you have a repo. I'm going to share the link later. You have like a bunch of instruction. And there is also an issue on Dagger. So if you want to share any feedbacks or like if you have any ideas, I'm very open to get this.